Hey, welcome to Hawaii. I want to talk a little bit about a very cool instrument native to Hawaii. It's called the ukulele. There are no U sounds in Hawaiian, but I may refer to it once in a while as a ukulele. But if you're talking to a Hawaiian about this instrument, try to call it an ukulele. It's tuned very similar to the guitar, and so it's not that big a deal for guitar players to learn how to play this. It's shorter, so it's the equivalent of the guitar being capoed at the 5th fret, with one other major, so a lot of the chord shapes are the same. Now there's one other kind of weird little exception, similar to a banjo, in that the 4th string, we have 4 strings, and the 4th string is an octave higher than the 5th fret of the guitar. Now what I mean by all of that is, if you were to put a capo on the guitar at the 5th fret, the top 4 strings would now be, the highest string would be an A. That's what it is. That's the equivalent of the 5th fret on the 1st string of the guitar. The 2nd string would be an E. That's what that is. That's the equivalent of the 5th fret on the 2nd string of the guitar. The 3rd string would be a C. That's what that is. The 5th string, 5th fret on the 3rd string of the guitar. And the 4th string, or the lowest string, would be a G, the same as the 4th string at the 5th fret. Except that on the ukulele, that note is an octave higher. So we don't have it go from low to high, because what is the 4th string, the lowest string, is an octave higher than its normal pitch, as far as the guitar goes. Now, the chord shapes, though, are the same. So I could play a chord shaped like D. Sounds great. It's not a D chord, though. It's the equivalent of being capoed at the 5th fret, and a D shape would give us, you got it? A G chord. Well, you've probably heard there was a very famous recording by Israel Kamakawiwo'ole, sometimes just known as Brudda Is, but of him playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. The song's really called Over the Rainbow, and he was a very influential Hawaiian musician. He was he and his brother Skippy started a band in the mid-70s called the Makaha Sons of Ni'ihau, and they were really popular in the islands here for many years. In the early 90s, his brother unfortunately passed away, heart attack. They had some health problems, and unfortunately Izzy, same problem, died a few years ago. But in any case, this was a man with a beautiful voice, and just really warmed the hearts of way more than people in Hawaii. So his version of Over the Rainbow is really, really cool. It first appeared on his album Facing Future in 1993, I believe. And there are many different remixes of it that showed up on later albums, but my guess, my presumption here from what I've heard, he introduces the song, he's just sitting there strumming some chords on his instrument, and we're hearing, and he does say this is for Gabby, so he's probably talking about Gabby Pahanui. I'm not even 100% sure about that, but I could be wrong, who was a very influential slack key guitar player well, going back in Hawaiian history. But anyway, it's pretty clear he's just kind of improvising this, because he just starts strumming some chords, and I think he really had intended to go into What a Wonderful World, which we'll get into, which we'll talk about in just in a few minutes, because he starts strumming these chords, and they are C, E minor. Let me talk a little bit about the strumming pattern. Very simple. I'm doing this with the invisible pick. You could do it with, you could use your nails of your second and 3rd fingers going down, and your thumbnail coming up, and just keeping a steady flow of 8th notes with heavy accents on the 2nd and 4th beats.